What if I told you that in just 90 days you could become unrecognizable to your current self? Not in theory, in reality. The way you move, the way you speak, the way you handle pressure. What if 3 months from now, the version of you who hesitates, scrolls, and second guesses was gone, and in his place stood someone sharper, stronger, focused, a builder, a closer, a force? That's not a fantasy. That's a decision. And if you're serious about making the next 90 days the most powerful, most disciplined, most transformative season of your life, you need to study this video start to finish. Watch it more than once, because this isn't about hype. This is about how to actually do it. Step by step, ritual by ritual, mindset by mindset. The blueprint you've been waiting for is right here. But let me be clear from the start. This isn't a motivational boost. This isn't a feel-good pump-up. This is war, a declaration against the old you, against the habits that keep you stuck, against the excuses you keep recycling like they're facts. 90 days, one decision, go all in or stay average. Because here's the truth, 90 days isn't magic, it's math. 3 months of radical consistency is enough to build habits that rewire your identity, enough to compound small wins into unstoppable momentum, enough to rise above 99% of people sleepwalking through routines, convincing themselves that someday is a real plan. But none of that happens unless you lock in, unless you eliminate distractions, unless you remove the exits and treat this like your last chance to finally follow through. You've said you're ready before, but this time you prove it. And if you're serious about this path, hit subscribe now, because I'll be walking with you through the full journey, not just today, but every step ahead. These aren't quick hits, these are deep dives. And if you stay locked in, if you truly commit, the world won't recognize the version of you that walks out on day 90. But it all starts here. You've got 90 days to flip the switch. And this video, this is where you burn the old blueprint, we build a new one, and we begin. A man who's truly decided burns his bridges, not metaphorically, not half-heartedly, not with a backup plan hiding in his pocket. He removes the exit, he makes retreat impossible, and because of that decision, that real decision, he becomes someone else, not later. Now, this is what it means to lock in for 90 days. Your life becomes narrow, focused, forged. Every day you stack proof that you are not who you used to be, and every day your brain rewires itself to believe it. There's psychology behind this hard science. Your brain works through patterns, through repetition. Every time you make a choice, it carves a groove. Do it once, it's nothing. Do it twice, it remembers. Do it every day for 90 days without deviation, without apology, without negotiation, and it becomes your identity. And once your identity shifts, you don't try anymore. You are. It becomes who you are to wake up early, who you are to go all in, who you are to choose discipline over comfort. This is why 90 days matter, not because it's long enough to try something, but because it's long enough to become someone. And let's be real, this isn't about hype. This is about physics, momentum. Most people never get it because they keep resetting. They do 3 days, then skip one. A week, then fall off for 2. Always starting over, always chasing a spark, waiting for motivation. But motivation is a liar. Discipline, that's the truth. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't check the weather or ask what your friends are doing. Discipline moves, and movement creates momentum. And momentum is what turns hard into automatic, effort into flow. It's what separates the man who keeps restarting from the man who rises. Because once you cross a certain threshold, once the habits click, once the body adapts, once the mind sees proof, something flips, and now the work starts pulling you forward instead of pushing you back. But to get there, you've got to go through pain, through friction, through the part where it feels like it's not working. That's the barrier most never cross. But I want you to remember this. Resistance is not the enemy, it's the signal. It means you're evolving. Think about it. Muscles don't grow without tension. Skill doesn't sharpen without repetition. Identity doesn't shift without emotional friction. When it gets hard, when you want to quit, when old habits start whispering, that's the edge. That's where most people fold. That's where you don't, because you've decided. And a real decision isn't about feeling good, it's about becoming great. Discomfort is the price of the next version of you. You don't get it without cost. You won't ease your way into transformation. You'll pay for it in discipline, in focus, in energy. But once it's yours, it's yours. That identity becomes your armor. That mindset becomes your fuel. And from that point on, everything changes. The man who locks in for 90 days doesn't come out the same, because he's trained his brain to obey purpose, not mood. He's practiced showing up when no one's clapping. He's rewritten the story from I'm trying to I am. So this is the choice. Do you play with the idea of change, or do you become it? Because when you go all in, when you remove the exit and burn the bridge, you force your nervous system to adapt, your environment to shift, your habits to bend toward the standard you just set. That's how identity is forged, not in one day, but in 90 consecutive ones. So stop waiting for the path to feel smooth. It won't. It's not supposed to. The discomfort isn't a red light, it's green. It's your signal to lean in, to keep going, to keep building. Because 90 days from now, if you stay locked in, you won't just feel different. You'll be different. And the world won't recognize you. But more importantly, neither will the man you used to be. There's a moment in every transformation where you stop asking, what should I do? And start demanding what must be done. This is that moment. The first two parts of this video set the foundation. They lit the fire. But this is where we build the furnace. This is where we create a structure so strong, so focused, so unbreakable that failure becomes harder than success. Let me introduce you to the 90-day lock-in blueprint. It's simple, brutal, effective. It's not designed for ease. It's designed to make you evolve. These 90 days are built around 4 pillars, non-negotiable actions you will complete every single day. Each pillar sharpens a specific part of you, and when practiced together day after day, they forge a version of you that's clearer, stronger, more dangerous than anything you've ever been. Let's go through them. Pillar 1, mind. You can't outperform your own thoughts. Every day for the next 90 days, you'll spend 1 full hour deliberately feeding your mind. This is not passive content. This is focused input. Reading high-quality books, reflecting deeply on your thoughts and actions, writing down insights, goals, affirmations. This hour is for perspective, not entertainment. It's time to download powerful software into your brain. Why? Because most people run on autopilot. They consume junk. Their minds are cluttered with noise, negativity, and opinions. But not you. Not anymore. From now on, your mind becomes your greatest weapon. Choose books that challenge you. Write ideas that stretch you. Reflect on what you're doing, why you're doing it, and who you're becoming. 1 hour a day doesn't just change your thoughts. It rewires your identity. You begin to speak differently, move differently, think strategically. Why? Because your mind has been fed with purpose, not trash. And over 90 days, you install a new operating system. Pillar 2, body. The body fuels the mind. The mind commands the body. Every day you train. Minimum 30 minutes, ideally 60. The goal is intensity, not perfection. Run, lift, box, stretch, hike, doesn't matter. You move, period. This isn't about aesthetics. It's about energy and discipline. Your body is your base. If your body is weak, your focus cracks. Your drive slips. You don't need a gym. You don't need a trainer. You don't need a playlist. You need commitment. Sweat daily. Push daily. Build pain tolerance. Become comfortable being uncomfortable. Every drop of sweat is a decision made. I don't negotiate with weakness. Soon your body becomes an anchor, a force multiplier. It won't just carry your weight, it'll carry your standards. Pillar 3, mission. Every day you build the dream, 1 brick at a time. This is where most fail. They let life happen to them. You won't. Every day you give your craft, your calling, your dream. 90 minutes of uninterrupted deep work. No distractions, no scrolling, no checking your phone. 1.5 hours minimum. If you're a writer, you write. If you're a builder, you build. If you're learning, you train. And if you don't know your mission yet, finding it becomes your mission. You read, you journal, you try, you start, you move forward until clarity arrives. Why 90 minutes? Because most people don't even give their goals 90 minutes a week and wonder why nothing changes. This block of time, daily practice, becomes your edge. It sharpens your skills. It separates you. 90 minutes a day is 105 hours in 70 days. That's a part-time job's worth of mastery. This is where you build what they can't see yet, and when it's done, they'll feel it. Pillar 4, stillness. If your mind is never still, your potential is never clear. Every day, 10 to 20 minutes, you will sit in stillness. No phone, no noise, no input, no talking. Just you, your breath, your mind, your presence. This is where you defragment, where you drop back into yourself. Stillness is not wasted time. It's the sharpening of focus. It's where stress dissolves, where ideas form, where you remember what matters. Sit in meditation, walk in nature, lie down and breathe. Doesn't matter how. What matters is that you disconnect from the noise and reconnect to your mission. Most people are addicted to stimulation, so their thoughts aren't their own. You'll break that cycle. You'll train presence, because presence leads to clarity, and clarity leads to power. Now let's go deeper. Most people underestimate how chaotic their inner world is. They think productivity means more input, more motion, more noise. But the elite, the ones who move with precision, they know stillness isn't the absence of work. It's the foundation of intelligent execution. You have to give your mind space to breathe, to think for itself. Stillness is not inactivity. It's alignment. It's recovery. It's where your nervous system resets, your vision clears, your obsession calibrates. So sit, breathe. No phone, no music, just presence, just you. You'll feel resistance at first. Good. That resistance you feel, it means your mind is detoxing. Let the thoughts rise. Let them pass. Don't cling. Don't resist. Just observe. You're not here to control the noise. You're here to watch it fade. Do this for 10 to 20 minutes a day and watch your focus multiply. Fifth pillar, no negotiation. You will do what you said you would do, period. This is the line where boys become men, where talk becomes transformation. This is the code that holds the entire structure together. No negotiation means no missed days, no excuses, no shifting standards based on how you feel. This is your internal contract. You signed it the moment you began this 90-day sprint. And from that moment on, there's no escape hatch. Because here's what most people don't understand. Success isn't a talent problem, it's a negotiation problem. They start strong, then it gets hard, and they start talking to themselves. Just today I'll skip. I'll go easier tomorrow. I've done enough. Little by little, they weaken their identity. They train their subconscious that their word means nothing. Not you. You do it anyway. When it's hard, when it's boring, when it's inconvenient, especially when it's inconvenient, that's when the identity shift begins. That's when the future version of you starts to believe in you. No negotiation doesn't mean perfection. It means no quitting. Miss your deep work block. Make it up that night. Skip your workout. You double it tomorrow. But softness, excuses, that's not welcome in this phase. Remember the line, discomfort is the price of the next version of you. Let me say it again. Discomfort is the price of the next version of you, and the payment is daily. If that line hits you, press like and subscribe. It means you're ready. Because if you follow this to the letter, day after day without compromise, your life cannot stay the same. Here's what happens. Your mind sharpens. Your decisions get faster. Your vision clears. Your thoughts elevate. Your body becomes a vessel for power, not just in looks, but in how you move. Confident, capable, composed. Your mission starts to move. No more overthinking. You're executing. Your presence becomes magnetic. You've trained silence, trained calm, trained focus. You've separated from the scattered masses. And your discipline, it becomes your identity. Not something you try, not something you chase. Who you are. And that's the entire point of the 90-day lock-in. Not to check boxes. To become the kind of person who doesn't need to be convinced to rise. No reminders, no applause. You just move. You just build. You just live differently. Because the old version of you, he negotiated. With fear, with comfort, with doubt. The new version, he has one rule. No negotiation. If you're serious about transformation, about actually becoming someone you've never been, you must make decisions today that you never revisit tomorrow. These are called 90-day decisions. You don't wake up each day and wonder if you'll follow through. That's how amateurs live. That's how the old you thought. The new you makes the choice once and lives inside it. The power of this phase is certainty. You decide what gets cut, and that decision stands. You don't renegotiate when you're tired. You don't water it down because your friends don't get it. You made the call. Now the only thing that matters is discipline. So what gets cut? Distractions gone? That means mindless scrolling, constant stimulation, random content that entertains but doesn't build, off the table. Your environment is a battlefield. Let low-value inputs slip in, and it will infect your focus. If it doesn't multiply your mission, it doesn't belong in your day. Gossip gone. Drama gone. You are unavailable for small talk that keeps you small. Every conversation you have for the next 90 days must make you more focused, more aligned, more elevated, or it's stealing your energy. Protect your energy like a vault. You can't build anything great if your focus is fractured by nonsense. And now, alcohol. Let's be honest, you already know. If your mind is serious about growth, about clarity, about power from the inside out, there's no space for substances that dull your edge. Drinking may feel like relaxation, but in truth, it's regression. It muddies your clarity. It lowers your frequency. It disrupts your sleep. It dulls the sharpness you need to make real moves. Cut it. Not forever, but for now. For this phase. For this sprint toward the person you were meant to be. Now let's talk dopamine. Most people aren't addicted to distraction. They're addicted to the chemistry of distraction. Quick hits, instant rewards, notifications, novelty. Their brains are hijacked by microstimulations. And until you detox, you'll keep chasing crumbs while your empire remains unbuilt. You must reset your baseline. That means silence. That means boredom. That means discipline. These 90 days are not about chasing dopamine. They're about retraining your brain to find fulfillment in hard focus, deep work, for physical effort, quiet growth. It will feel uncomfortable at first. That's how you know it's working. The environment you build for this season is everything. Try to do this in a cluttered, chaotic, overstimulated space, and you will fail. So clean it, clear it, make it sacred, make it sharp. You're not building a vibe, you're building a launch pad. Your space must whisper every time you enter, "This is where I go to win." No more working from bed, no more multitasking, no more background noise. Make your space silent, focused, intentional. Your room, your kitchen, your phone, your laptop, all of it becomes part of the system. Nothing random, nothing casual, everything by design. And it's not just your physical space, it's your mental space. It must become monk-like. That means boundaries. That means protecting your time from people who don't understand your path. That means deleting apps, muting group chats, and quitting the habit of checking your phone every 5 minutes for no reason. You're building a container for transformation. Nothing leaks in, nothing leaks out. Because every time you let a distraction in, you send a message to your subconscious, "I don't really mean it." And once that message takes root, discipline crumbles. But when you wake up and follow through, when no one's watching, when it's boring, when it's uncomfortable, you send the opposite message. "This is who I am now." That's how identity gets rebuilt. One act of alignment at a time. Your mind doesn't need more motivation. It needs orders. You must stop letting mood drive behavior. Stop checking in with your emotions before taking action. You must become someone who moves, regardless of how they feel, because if your moods run your life, your results will always be inconsistent. This is the season of commanding yourself, of reprogramming your thoughts to serve your vision, not your weakness, not your cravings, not your fear. So decide right now, what are your non-negotiables? What are you cutting? What are you keeping? Really so to keeping what never will again. Then live inside that decision. Lock it in. Move, because this isn't about discipline for discipline's sake. It's about becoming someone who finishes the mission. Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they're inconsistent. They start strong, get excited, set goals, watch the videos, but when the emotion fades, so does their action. That's the core issue. They rely on motivation. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel inspired. But motivation is a mood, and moods are unstable. You cannot build an unshakable life on unstable fuel. So how do you stay consistent without motivation? You build from identity, not emotion. That starts with a concept called identity anchoring. It means you stop acting like who you've been and start acting like the man you're becoming. Not someday, today. You carry yourself like you've already earned it. You don't try to be disciplined, you are disciplined. You don't hope to be consistent. You live as if consistency is your natural state. Why? Because behavior follows identity. If you see yourself as someone who quits, you'll quit. If you see yourself as someone who follows through, you'll follow through, even when it's hard. Act from that place every single day until your actions rewrite your self-image. It's not faking it. It's becoming it, one decision at a time. Next, stop obsessing over goals. Set them once and forget them. Then shift your focus from goals to systems. A goal is the destination. A system is the vehicle. Goals don't make you consistent. Systems do. You don't rise by thinking about the result. You rise by mastering the process. So what's your system? What do you do every morning? What do you do every night? What does your work block look like? Your workout? Your reading? Your silence? These systems must be so simple you don't need to think. You don't negotiate. You just execute. And you track them every single day. If you don't track it, it didn't happen. That's not a motivational phrase. It's reality. Your brain will lie. It'll tell you you're doing better than you are. It'll forget the skipped workouts. It'll protect your ego. But numbers don't lie. If it's on the tracker, it happened. If it's not, it didn't. So track it. Use a calendar, a habit tracker, sticky notes. Make it visual. Why? Because your brain loves momentum. It loves progress. That little check mark, that filled box, that's dopamine tied to discipline, not distraction. It builds confidence, builds clarity, keeps you moving. And when you see that string of check marks, that chain of wins, you won't want to break it. You'll think twice before skipping. You'll hesitate before ending your day without completing your deep work, because you'll see the cost. And that visible cost, that awareness, is what keeps you aligned when motivation disappears. Now build a ritual. Same wake-up time, same morning flow, same evening wind down. Ritual creates rhythm. Rhythm builds momentum. Momentum makes effort feel natural. This is automation. You want to lock in for 90 days. Then make the first and last hour of your day sacred. No randomness, no negotiation. Your morning is for priming your mind, reading, movement, silence, intention. Your evening is for shutting down, reflection, planning tomorrow, cutting stimulation. Bookend your day with discipline, and the middle will take care of itself. And when it gets hard, and it will, go back to your identity anchor. Ask yourself, What would the man I'm becoming do right now? Would he skip the habit? Would he scroll instead of focus? Would he let discomfort lead? Or would he stand up tired, busy, and do it anyway? That question will change your life, because the answer is always there, and the more often you choose it, the more you become it. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about being unshakable in your rhythm. It's about removing decision fatigue. You don't ask yourself if you'll work. You don't ask if you'll train. You do it because that's who you are now. So you build the systems. You track the work. You anchor the identity. And you never again let motivation be the reason you move or the reason you stop. From this moment on, you are the reason you keep going. On this 90-day path, you're going to hit 3 walls. Not because you're weak, but because transformation demands resistance. No one walks into a new life without facing the ghosts of the old one. The question isn't, will it get hard? The question is, will you keep going anyway? Wall 1 comes fast around day 7 to day 10. Resistance kicks in. The honeymoon is over. The excitement fades. The dopamine from starting something new wears off. And now it's just you, the work, and your old self trying to pull you back. You'll hear it. It's too much. Take a break. You've earned a day off. That's not truth. That's the voice of your past identity begging for comfort. But listen closely. This is the first test, and it must be passed in silence. This wall matters because it exposes who you've been. It shows you the habits, the coping mechanisms, the unconscious patterns that have kept you stuck. You don't fight this wall by yelling at it. You fight it by walking through it. Quietly, relentlessly, one act of discipline at a time. Every rep, every page, every focused work block. You're building a new mind, and your old one, it feels the shift. That's why it resists. And that's how you know you're on the right path. Then comes wall 2, around day 30. You're not struggling anymore. You're just bored. The routine feels flat. The grind gets dull. No breakthrough. No applause. Just work. And this is where most people quit. Not from pain, but from doubt. Is this even working? Is it worth it? Maybe I should switch it up. Understand this. The enemy on day 30 is not failure. It's distraction. The pull to start over. The itch to change everything. To abandon what's working just because it's not exciting anymore. But this is where greatness begins. In boredom. In showing up when nothing's changing. In staying locked in when it's just the system, the silence, the schedule. Because under the surface, everything is changing. Your brain is rewiring. Your focus is sharpening. Your emotions are stabilizing. You are becoming a different man. Not through hype, but through habit. And soon it starts to show. Day 60. This is where the rebirth begins. You wake up and something shifted. You feel sharper, quieter. You speak less. You move more. Your habits no longer feel forced. They feel natural. Your body responds. Your mind stops resisting. The work becomes rhythm. And for the first time, you feel it. You're not chasing motivation. You're living your standard. And that moment, that is the shift. That's when you realize, I'm not the same anymore. But the real reward, it doesn't arrive at day 60. It comes at day 90. This isn't hype. This isn't borrowed confidence. This is evidence. Your life looks different. Your decisions feel different. Your environment has changed. You carry new energy. People feel it. You feel it. Not because you said anything, but because you've become someone else. Quietly, relentlessly, repetitively. And here's the beauty. You didn't need applause. You didn't need motivation. You didn't need to feel ready. You just kept showing up through the resistance, through the boredom, through the silence. That's what made it real. That's what made it yours. By day 90, it's not just about progress. You've built a new identity, forged in pain, sharpened through repetition, anchored in silence. This isn't a 3-week sprint. This is transformation, the kind that doesn't fade, the kind you don't post, the kind that rewrites who you are at the core. And the truth is, most people never make it this far, not because they can't, but because they didn't decide. They flirted with change. You committed. So when resistance shows, lean in. When boredom creeps in, stay locked in. When the rebirth begins, honor it, because on the other side of these 90 days is a version of you they said didn't exist. There will be a moment, maybe more than one, when you want to quit. You'll convince yourself it's too much, that it doesn't matter, that one missed day won't hurt, that starting over later would be better. But that voice, that's resistance wearing a friendly face. This is the battle most people never prepare for. Not the schedule, not the environment, the war within. And when it comes, when your mind starts negotiating, rationalizing, begging for an exit, remember why you started. Say it out loud. The man who wants it easy will never meet the man he's capable of becoming. That version of you, disciplined, focused, unrecognizable. He's not born in comfort. He's born the moment you refuse to quit. That's the line in the sand. It's called definiteness of purpose. An unshakable commitment to a clearly defined goal. Not a wish, not a maybe, a decision. And once you make that decision, truly make it, quitting disappears. You stop checking the weather before training. You stop asking if you feel like writing. You stop waiting for motivation. You show up because purpose doesn't care how you feel. This is how warriors train.
Like it's war, like it's now or never. You don't build discipline when it's easy. You build it when everything in you wants to run, and you stay anyway. So what do you do when that voice says quit? You anchor, you breathe, you speak your reset phrase. I said 90, not 9. 9 days of effort doesn't change a life. 90 days of locked-in, aligned execution does. This is the contract you made, not with the world, not with your followers, with yourself. And that contract is non-negotiable. So remind yourself, pain is temporary. Discomfort is feedback. It means you're evolving. Resistance means you're stepping into territory your old self can't survive. So don't run from it. Use it. Let it sharpen you. Let it strip away softness, excuses, fragility. Every time you keep going when you wanted to stop, you gain something money can't buy, self-respect. And that is the foundation of all confidence. So when you want to quit, don't. Breathe, reset, recommit. Say it again. I said 90, not 9, and then get back to work. There's a moment, if you stay long enough, where the effort begins to feel different, where the habits no longer feel forced, where resistance softens, where the voice that once said this is too hard is replaced with something stronger. This is who I am now. That's not motivation. That's identity. And identity is everything, because repetition forges identity. What you do daily becomes what you believe. What you believe shapes how you think, how you move, what you tolerate, especially when no one's watching. You're not checking boxes anymore. You're not dragging yourself through tasks. You're proving something to yourself. With every rep, every ritual, every act of quiet discipline, you're saying, I'm the kind of person who does this every day without needing to be told. You're not chasing the goal anymore. You're becoming the person who creates goals, executes them, exceeds them, because that's just what you do now. You're not trying to get better. You are better. You're not waiting to become that next level version of yourself. You're building it, one rep at a time. This is what's called autosuggestion, the act of feeding your mind with the identity you choose until it takes root and becomes real. That's why this process isn't something you watch once. It's something you live, breathe, repeat, until your subconscious doesn't just believe it, it becomes it. Because the man who rewires his mind rewires his life. And the more you repeat the right words, the more your thoughts shift. Once your thoughts shift, your habits follow, then your actions, then your outcomes, and finally your entire identity upgrades. Not because of hype, but because of consistency. Because you anchored it every day for 90 days. Say it now. I am the builder. I don't wait for conditions. I create them. I'm not hoping for a breakthrough. I'm building it. Let that loop in your mind. Louder than doubt, stronger than resistance, more real than the old version of you ever was. Because when this ends, you don't go back. You don't finish 90 days. You emerge, different, sharper, unrecognizable.
And the world won't need your explanation, because the results will speak louder than words ever could. So watch this again. Study it. Let it reprogram you until the work is no longer forced. It's your breath. This is how you shift, not with one decision, but with 90 days of becoming. They won't see it coming, and that's the point. Disappear for 90 days. Let them wonder where you went. Let them assume you gave up. Let them think you lost the fire. Don't correct them. Don't defend yourself. Just build. Because what you're building doesn't need their attention. It needs your obsession. Not half effort. Not conditional commitment. All in. Focused. Locked in. Undistracted. Every day. Every rep. Every brick. And when you reemerge, you'll do it with proof. Not a post. Not a speech. Evidence. They'll feel it in your energy before they see it in your results. They'll hear it in your tone, your walk, your silence. And they'll know the version of you they once knew is gone. This is what happens when you commit with finality, when you stop negotiating, when you stop chasing and start becoming. You come back different, sharper, quieter, more powerful, not because you faked it, but because you earned it. And when you do, you don't explain it. You let the silence speak louder than their noise. Because here's the truth. You don't need to be seen. You need to become undeniable. So if something just woke up in you, if there's fire in your chest right now, don't let it die in 10 minutes. Don't let it fade when the screen goes dark. Commit. Lock in for 90. Make the decision. Mark the day. Build the system. Eliminate the noise. And give yourself the chance to meet the version of you that's been waiting on the other side of this war. And if this spoke to you, subscribe. This is just the beginning of something deeper, something higher, something real. When you're ready for the next level, watch the next video. But don't just watch transformation. Live it. Now go lock in. Go dark. Come back different.